back to Good Day, Toledo's only fun, local, and positive 9 a.m. show. When we head to work, we look professional, but that look can be different depending upon where in the world you work. Traeonna joins us from Kimono Kitsune. She'll be part of the Women of Toledo Intercultural Global Gala next weekend. Good morning. Thank you for being here today.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Well, you look beautiful.
Thank you.
Tell me a little bit about what it is that you're wearing.
So I'm wearing a traditional kimono from Japan. I study with a teacher that actually is located there. So I've had to learn to dress myself in every single one of these pieces.
Wow.
So, and I've been doing that since 2010.
Yeah, well, so what got you into this?
So a long time ago in my youth, I was part of another Japanese fashion called Lolita. It's a very hyper, feminized, very modest kind of frou-frou-y kind of dress. As I aged and got older, I decided I wanted a more mature look, so I started dressing in kimono, first as fusion, like these models here, and then I jumped feet first in and started learning how to wear it traditionally.
So you have a store, an online store where people can, shop for some of these looks, but you're also going to be part of a gala coming up. So tell us about this event.
So this event is by Women of Toledo, and they're having an intercultural fashion show. So it's taking traditional fashions, but some of us have modern looks to it or interpretations of those traditional garments. So it's going to be kind of a whole spectrum of fashion there.
Wow. So will these be some of the looks that we might be seeing?
Yes, absolutely. So I have all of my models are dressed in various parts. Most of it is fusion. I have 2 traditional models, so people can kind of see, the breadth of where you can go with this particular fashion.
Yeah, let's talk about this one here closest to me. When we talk about this belt here, talk a little bit about how that plays into the culture.
So the belt itself is, this is a normal Western belt that you could get at any store, but it kind of mimics the obi that I'm wearing around my waist. So what we're doing is we're taking this coat that usually would be worn over kimono to kind of keep all the dirt and stuff off. We make it as a mini dress, put a big huge belt on it, and then you have a cute little dress.
Wow.
And it requires like no dressing skills at all, not like this where you'd be studying with an instructor. So super simple.
Right, but beautiful.
Yes.
Very
I think they're very elegant, and it's
Yes.
just nice and simple and fun.
Yeah, talk a little bit about this look here.
So this look, this black dress is actually remade from an old kimono. So it's a formal kimono that you don't really have a lot of times to wear in your life. So it was a little damaged, so I cut it apart and I remade it into this little dress. And then I put over it another type of kimono coat, which is called a haori. And it's just, you put it on, and we have a little chain here to keep it kind of semi-closed. And I just, did a little jewelry just to show you what it would look like if you're wearing it on.
And your online store does have some accessories as well, right?
It does, absolutely. We have a lot of accessories. I just came out with this jewelry line that both of my mannequins here are wearing. It's a transformable jewelry line, so it transforms like you transform yourself when you're wearing kimono. So it kind of moves with your fashion. Like this is actually an earring that you can detach and make into a necklace. In kimono jewelry, you can actually drape your necklaces here to make a little bit of fun here. This transforms into a bracelet or an anklet.
Wow.
So there's a lot of stuff to do because our whole thing is about transforming yourself in our fashion. So it's just bringing a little bit of Japan home. They have a beautiful, rich textile culture, and we just want to kind of bring that into our own closets.
Yeah, and talk a little bit about what you are wearing and what goes into actually getting it on.
Getting it on. So I'm wearing a komon kimono, which is daily wear. So this is just something you wear around the house, going out, doing your grocery shopping. It looks very elaborate. Everybody thinks I'm very dressed up, and I'm actually dressed pretty casual.
Wow.
So I have the kimono itself. Underneath, I have this white collar. That's actually our underwear. So it's called a juban, and this is a haniri. You can change those out.
Okay.
So you can have different colors. I just like white.
Okay.
This is an obi, which is like a belt, and then you have an obi-jime, which keeps it all together because it has some kind of structural in the back.
Yes,
so
yeah, turn around. Look at that. That is, it's just gorgeous, and what the detail that goes into.
And so there's all these little tiny accessories, but underneath, you essentially have to tie yourself into this garment. You have layers and layers and layers that all support what the look is going to be overall.
Wow, and you had to study and learn all these things.
Yeah, I did. I learned on my own, and then I finally found a teacher, and so she lives in Japan in Kyushu.
Wow, and then in the meantime, people can can, take bits and pieces of that and transform themselves through your store. And first of all, for people who want to go to the gala, how do they go about doing that? When and where is this happening?
So it's happening November 4th, and they can go onto the Women of Toledo website. There they can find a little button that says pretty much buy your tickets now. There are additional ways to support if you can't make it to the gala. And then you just show up and enjoy yourself. There's going to be entertainment, there's going to be intercultural food, there's going to be fashion show. So lots of stuff to entertain you.
How wonderful. And then for people who are like, whoa, I want to buy some things. How do they find your store?
You can find me at www.kimonokitsune.com, or you can find me on Instagram at Kimono Kitsune USA, or on Facebook at Kimono Kitsune.
And what does it mean to you to be able to participate in this intercultural gala?
As a person that's not from the culture I'm representing, it's really interesting because I'm very involved with culture. I'm part of the local Japanese association. So to be invited along with these other wonderful women that are of their cultures and representing their cultures, it's just very important, because I think a lot of the heritages are dying and the fashions are just kind of not happening anymore. And so to have an outlet where we can all share a little bit of our culture, but then also showing how you can keep that culture going if you don't want to dress in a traditional manner. This is ways to bring a little bit of that into your own wardrobe.
It's just wonderful. Thank you so much for doing this and for being here today. I've got some ideas, it kind of gives you some ideas of what you could do in your wardrobe. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Yep.